So this video is going to be in 2 parts. It was too hot for the camera and the camera shut down. So I had to cool it off by throwing it in the freezer for a couple of minutes. So this is going to come in 2 parts. But anyway, I left you, I put the peppers and the garlic and the cooked off bacon. And so that needs to cook along with the herbs, the oregano, the cayenne pepper and the chili. You got to cook that for about 20 minutes until everything's cooked really well. So I'll just give you a quick look at it. Right. So I'm just going to pause this and I'll get back to you shortly. So I can't stress enough the need to cook the bacon, the garlic, the peppers, the onions well. Make sure that all the flavors of the herbs, spices, the vegetables, the bacon, that it is infused well. So I'm going to let this go. It's been doing about 10 minutes. I'm going to let this do for another probably 10 minutes, okay? So I'll be back to you. Alright, so I've been cooking this for about 20 minutes, stirring repeatedly. It's well cooked. You can see bacon, the peppers, the onions. Now the next thing I do is 1 can of tomato sauce. One can of diced tomatoes. This is 4 cubes of beef bouillon in 8 ounces of liquid water. Right? You can use a can of consomme, use demi-glaze if you happen to have that around, but I'm using bouillon right now. Right? And I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to stir that. I have 1 can of kidney beans, 1 can of pinto beans. Starting to look like chili now, isn't it? And then last but not least, I pre-cooked some sirloin beef and some ground beef together. I'm going to add that into there. Mix this all in well. Alright. So, now the key is to cook it. I'm going to let it simmer. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to a low flame and I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to let it cook for about 1 or 2 hours on a very low flame. Alright, so I'm going to pause this and I'll come back to you later with it, alright? Alright, so I brought it up to a boil. You can see that puppy right there. And now I've turned it down to a very low flame. And that's what it's going to do now for about 2 hours, right? I don't add flour or any thickening agents, cornstarch, anything like that. Natural reduction. Cook it slow. Let the juices evaporate. It'll thicken. About 2 hours, that is going to be the bomb. Tomorrow, after a night of settling, that's going to be excellent stuff. Right, so again, I'm not going to have the camera on for 2 hours. I'm going to pause it again. I'll get back to it when it's the finished product, okay? Just to let you know, well, I'll tell you later. Alright, so I'll show you where we're at. So this has been cooking. Say hi to Dennis there. This has been cooking for about 2 hours. You can see it's reduced, it's nice and thick, right? So when I'm done, maybe right here, doesn't that look marvelous? Yum. Well, little Parmesan cheese or mozzarella, little Parmesan, so you notice that I didn't do anything about salt or pepper. I rarely salt my food, especially if I'm using bouillons, because there's a lot of MSG and salt, sodium in that. So I'll wait to get an idea and then pretty much let you salt it yourself, but the bouillon in it will be enough and the flavors will stand out. It won't be, you know, cooking it for so long, you put a little bit of salt in it, that's going to expand the flavor and it's going to get too salty if you're not careful. If you don't know what you're doing, I just stay away from it. There's plenty of salt in the bouillon. So then I'll put some diced pepper or diced onions into that, fresh diced onions, and I've got some cheese in there, and that's a beautiful dish. It really is a great chili. It's perfect for the Southern California weather we're having right now. It rained all day yesterday, so it's perfect wintertime, good and stodgy. So again, our website, as you can read below there, right here, right, where is it? Where is it? Right there? Somewhere. There, right there. www.manifestcalling.com. If you go to the food page, there's a blog where I recount tales of my history around the world cooking, bringing you recipes. Of course, Manifest Calling is also a rock band. I'm the guitar player, singer, and we just released our EP, or CD I should say, Retro Rock. It's available on Spotify. Also download it from Amazon or Google Play or iTunes or all that. But I'll be updating the food blog quite often, so please visit, and thank you very much. Best of luck. Bon appetit.